Have you ever wondered how one book can lead to thousands of different beliefs? The same Bible, read by millions, yet interpreted in completely different ways. Some say it's crystal clear, others say it's deeply mysterious. So what's really going on? If God is truth, why isn't His message understood the same way by everyone? Welcome to Sacred Questions, a space where we don't run from difficult questions. We sit with them. Today's question is one that has quietly troubled many believers, skeptics, and seekers alike. Why are there so many interpretations of the Bible? If Christianity is built on truth, why do denominations disagree? Why do pastors preach differently? Why do sincere, faithful people come to completely different conclusions while reading the same words? Is the problem the Bible, or is it us? To begin, we need to understand something important. The Bible is not a single book. It's a collection of writings written over more than 1,000 years by different authors in different cultures, languages, and historical contexts. Some parts are poetry, some are history, some are laws. Some are letters written to specific communities dealing with very real, very human struggles. This matters because not every part of the Bible is meant to be read the same way. Take the Psalms, they're emotional, symbolic, poetic. Compare that to the letters of Paul. Structured arguments, theology, guidance, or the parables of Jesus. Stories designed to provoke thought, not always give direct answers. So one reason for different interpretations is simple. People read different kinds of writing as if they were all the same, and that can lead to misunderstanding. Another layer is language. The Bible wasn't originally written in English. It was written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. Every time it's translated, choices are made. And translation is never just mechanical, it involves interpretation. A single word in Greek might have multiple meanings in English. A phrase in Hebrew might carry cultural nuance we don't fully grasp today. So when two people read different translations, they may actually be encountering slightly different meanings. Not contradictions, but variations. And over time, those small differences can grow into larger theological disagreements. Now we come to something deeper and more uncomfortable. Even if the Bible were perfectly clear, we are not perfectly clear ourselves. Every person reads Scripture through a lens. Their upbringing, their culture, their experiences, their fears, and their desires. Two people can read the same verse and see completely different things, because they're not just reading the text, they're bringing themselves into it. Someone who has experienced suffering may read passages about God's justice differently than someone who hasn't. Someone raised in a strict religious environment may focus on rules. Someone raised in a more grace-centered environment may focus on love and forgiveness. And neither person is necessarily trying to distort the truth, they're just human. This is why interpretation isn't just about intelligence or knowledge. It's also about approaching truth with humility. Over time, these differences in understanding led to the formation of denominations. Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, and within Protestantism alone, hundreds of branches. Each one shaped by history, key leaders, and theological emphasis. Some prioritize tradition and church authority. Others emphasize personal interpretation and direct relationship with Scripture. Some focus heavily on grace. Others stress obedience and discipline. And here's something important to realize. Most of these groups didn't form because people wanted division. They formed because people were trying, sincerely, to understand truth. But they arrived at different conclusions. And instead of one unified interpretation, we got many. This leads to the big question: if there are so many interpretations, does that mean the truth is unclear? Not necessarily. Think about this. Even in areas outside religion, science, philosophy, politics, people disagree all the time. Not because truth doesn't exist, but because understanding it is complex. The Bible addresses profound questions. Who is God? What is human nature? What is right and wrong? Why is there suffering? What is the meaning of life? These questions are not simple with one-line answers. These are not simple questions with one-line answers. They require reflection, study, and often struggle. And maybe, just maybe, the process of seeking matters as much as the answers themselves. What if the existence of many interpretations isn't just a problem, but also an invitation? An invitation to dig deeper, to question, to learn, to grow, to approach Scripture not as something to win arguments with, but as something to wrestle with. Even in the Bible itself, we see people questioning God, struggling with faith, seeking understanding. Faith was never meant to be robotic. It was meant to be alive, dynamic, personal. So maybe the real question isn't, why are there so many interpretations? Maybe it's, how do I approach truth? Do I read to confirm what I already believe? Or do I read with openness, willing to be challenged? Do I listen to others or dismiss them quickly? Do I hold my beliefs with conviction, but also with humility? Because in the end, the goal isn't just to have the right interpretation. The goal is to seek truth honestly and to grow in understanding, step by step. Now I want to hear from you. Why do you think there are so many interpretations of the Bible? Have you ever struggled with this question? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's explore this together. And if you're someone who's searching, questioning, or trying to understand faith more deeply, subscribe to Sacred Questions. Because here, we don't avoid hard questions. We face them, honestly, respectfully, and together. I'll see you in the next one.